Today's lesson is the vinyl revival, giving records another spin. Hi, everybody. I'm Roger.
And I'm Mike.
And today we're going to continue talking about the revival of vinyl records. We're talking about LPs, albums that a lot of people are enjoying these days. And yes, indeed, I have discovered that there are a number of stores in Taipei that sell those old albums. So if you're into that, you could probably find them pretty easily.
Absolutely. You can get old albums for around 300 to 500 NT dollars. And as a collector myself, the thing I love about buying records in Taiwan is that many of them come from Japan. And I have discovered over the years that people in Japan just generally take really good care of their records. When I was buying them in Canada, you'd take it out of the sleeve and you'd think, oh no, there's scratches and dust. Someone's let their cat walk across the record. But the ones that I get from Japan are usually almost brand new. So it's a good place to be buying records if you're into vinyl. So let's check out why some people, especially interestingly, young people, are being drawn back to vinyl, why it's caught a whole new generation of fans. It's more than just the music. There's something special about not just listening to vinyl, but even just touching it. Let's find out.
One of the main factors behind the vinyl revival is the tactile experience of handling a physical record. From carefully sliding it from the sleeve to delicately placing the needle in the groove, a record demands a level of engagement that digital formats can't match. Along the same lines, album packaging gives vinyl an allure that digital versions lack. Vinyl covers are like little works of art, with the canvas of a vinyl sleeve allowing for amazing images and designs that make each album a singular experience.
大家好，第一部分首先介绍形容词 tactile， 也可以念成 tactile， 意思是触觉的。例如 The scientists improved the tactile functions of artificial limbs. 科学家们改进了义肢的触觉功能。又或者说 Rodrigo is drawn to the tactile nature of drawing with chalk. Rodrigo 对粉笔画的笔触质感很感兴趣。接下来是副词 delicately， 它指的是小心翼翼的、巧妙的或是精致的。比如说 The furniture were carried delicately onto the truck. 家具被小心翼翼地搬到卡车上。或是 The teacup had delicately painted pink and white roses on it. 那个茶杯上画有精致的粉色和白色玫瑰。
Okay, so here in the first part it says, one of the main factors or one of the main reasons behind the vinyl revival is the tactile experience of handling a physical record. So here we've got tactile. Some people say tactile. That's more of the American pronunciation, but tactile you'll hear in other places, which means having to do with touch. And indeed, you don't have that experience when you listen to MP3s or other kinds of digital recordings because it's in the database somewhere, it's coming from the internet, and you don't actually get to feel the actual medium itself. You just hear the music only. So yes, indeed, there is some kind of feeling of intimacy with the music when you can actually feel the record and put it on the turntable and put the needle on it and sit back and listen and watch that record spin in front of your very eyes.
Exactly right. You've captured it perfectly, Roger. From carefully sliding it from the sleeve, that's sort of the jacket that the vinyl is in, kind of like an envelope. The outer sleeve will be made of cardboard, and usually there'll be an inner sleeve to really protect the surface of the record made of plastic or paper in the older ones, and delicately place the needle. Yeah, unless you want it to go boom and make a loud noise, hurt your ears, possibly ruin your speakers. You place the needle, or the stylus, as it's sometimes called. That's the thing that actually reads the record and changes the vibrations into sound. You place that delicately in the groove. Delicately meaning very carefully, being very precise and cautious and slow and careful careful with your motions. You would delicately pick up a baby or, place it back in its crib. You might delicately put the eggs into the bag because you don't want them to break and crack. So you delicately place the needle. You don't drop it or throw it or anything like that. And the groove, well, every record on either side has one long groove, and that is where the songs are written, where the music is actually written. You can see it as just being this sort of line that starts on the outside and goes all the way to the inside. And since it's a small sort of ditch, I guess you could call it, it's sort of dug into the surface of the record, we can call that a groove. In the same way that you might look at the tracks that a train might run on, where the tracks fit into the wheels of the train, into the groove. So it kind of rides along in that track, keeping it on its path. A record demands a level of engagement that digital formats can't match. It's not like just clicking on an icon that says play and instantly getting music. No, you have to get the record out. You should also clean the record of dust, I would say, and then delicately put the needle on. So it's much more physical. It's the difference between cooking your own food and just having a guy from Uber Eats deliver it to your house. It takes a little bit more effort and maybe a little bit more enjoyment at the same time.
I kind of felt the same way with reel-to-reel tapes.
Ooh,
you had to load the tape on the machine, and then you could watch the reels spin. I actually enjoyed that way of listening to music as well.
Loading film into one of those old projectors.
Exactly, like the old Super 8 projectors or whatever. But yes, indeed, this does offer a level of engagement that you can't get with those digital formats. And along the same lines, or in a similar vein, album packaging gives vinyl an allure that digital versions lack.
Absolutely.
Indeed, you can download a digital album and you can hear the music, but you don't get a cover. You don't get to read the lyrics as you're listening to it. Like way back in 1975 when I bought the release of Elton John's latest release, Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy. My goodness, that came with all sorts of stuff. There was a poster in there, and it had a couple of books that you could browse through as you were listening to the record. So again, that is a whole experience. You hear the music, but you actually get to feel the cover and look at it and read the lyrics. It was just totally amazing.
Absolutely. Vinyl covers are like little works of art. They absolutely are little works of art, with the canvas of a vinyl sleeve allowing for amazing images and designs that make each album a singular experience. There you go. So yes, they are little works of art. It's 12 inches across and 12 inches high, so it's a square foot if you're using those measurements, about 30 centimeters by 30 centimeters. And this makes the cover, the packaging, the outside envelope of the record, a canvas of a vinyl sleeve, allowing for amazing images. Here, we're using canvas not to talk about the material, the strong, thick, tough material, but more like how that material is then put on a frame and used as a surface for art, right? A painter will use a canvas and then they will put oil paints or something on it, and that is basically the area that they unleash their creativity. So it's sort of like the blank page would be a canvas for a writer. It's not actually made of canvas, it's just the space where they produce their art. So the vinyl sleeve, the record sleeve, even though it's made of cardboard and not actual canvas, it allows the artists to create amazing images and designs that make each album a singular or a very unique, singular being unique, very original experience. And we can think of Sgt. Pepper by the Beatles or Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd. You know, some of these album covers are so famous, they're almost as well known as many great famous paintings from the past as well.
Okay, that brings us to the end of the first part of our lesson. Let's listen now to the second part.
Moreover, vinyl also offers a sound quality that many music lovers find irresistible. While digital files can reproduce sound with greater accuracy than vinyl, the sound of vinyl has a warmth and depth that many argue digital music doesn't. Even the small imperfections of vinyl records, such as the occasional pops and hisses, are seen as charming rather than annoying.
第二部分我们来看到 reproduce， 它是动词，意思是重现、重演或是繁殖。例如 Leslie could not reproduce her popular cake without the recipe, which she had lost. Leslie 搞丢了食谱，而无法重现她那受欢迎的蛋糕。或是 Rabbits reproduce quickly and can easily take over an area if they are not controlled. 兔子的繁殖速度很快，不加以控制的话，它们很容易占领一区。接着介绍名词 accuracy， 它有准确性、精确性或是正确的意思。例如 This device can detect cancer with more than 90% accuracy。 这种装置可以检测癌症，准确度有 90% 以上。或者 Although the movie is based on a true story, I question its accuracy。 虽然这部电影是根据真实故事改编，但我怀疑它的正确性。再来是 occasional 这个形容词，表示偶尔的。举例来说 I usually don't eat sweets, but I'll have an occasional slice of cake。 我通常不吃甜食，但偶尔会吃片蛋糕。或是 On our vacation, we had mostly pleasant weather with an occasional day of rain。 在我们的假期中，大部分时间天气都很好，只有偶尔几天有下雨。
Okay, the second part begins by saying, moreover, vinyl also offers a sound quality that many music lovers find irresistible, which means you cannot resist it. You just love that sound. You get addicted right away.
Absolutely. Roger has a point. This kind of comes down to the person. Some people would think music this way sounds better. Others would have other opinions about that. It says, while digital files, so that's listening to music on a computer or even on a CD, while digital files can reproduce sound with greater accuracy than vinyl, the sound of vinyl has a warmth and depth that many argue digital music doesn't. So both probably have their good sides and not so good sides. Digital files, so as I said, MP3s, MP4s, listening to music on a CD, it can reproduce or recreate the sound, right? The sound is recorded in a studio. We put on our digital file, click on the play button, and it will be recreated or reproducing this sound. It will be very accurate. It will reproduce the sound with greater accuracy. Of course, with digital files, you also wouldn't get scratches and hisses and pops like you would on an old vinyl record. So for some people, that accuracy, being very precise about the sound, this is exactly what it sounded like in the studio, that's important. But for others, the sound of vinyl has a warmth and depth that many argue digital music doesn't. It sounds a bit more natural, a bit more like you're in the room with the instruments. Yes, you might not hear everything perfectly clearly, like you wouldn't if you're watching a live performance, but it just sounds more real. It sounds like the music is actually coming from a violin and not just the recording of a violin.
And even the small imperfections of vinyl records, such as the occasional pops and hisses, are seen as charming rather than annoying. Yes, these are imperfections of vinyl records. Remember, they're physical. So you might have a pop in there. A piece of dust has landed in the groove. So when the needle goes across it, you hear this kind of sound like that. And, of course, you might get hisses, like tape hiss from the original recording. Or sometimes the groove actually skips, which kind of sounds interesting sometimes when the needle skips to a different part of the song and makes it sound kind of weird that way. Or sometimes it just keeps repeating the same groove. It keeps repeating the same groove. It keeps repeating this, you get it, over and over again. Sometimes that can sound kind of interesting.
Exactly. Give it a little knock, and it should knock it into the right groove. But yes, these things do happen, whereas with a digital file, either it works or it doesn't. If it works, it will sound the same all the time for 1,000 years. Let's check out the last part of the article before we wrap things up.
Whatever the reasons for it, the vinyl revival is more than just a return to the past. It's a testament to the enduring power of music and the desire for more meaningful connections with it. As long as people continue to appreciate the tactile, visual, and oral experiences provided by vinyl, new generations will continue to be attracted to this cherished medium.
第三部分来看到 testament 这个名词的意思是证明、证据或是验证。我们可以说 Dino's success in life is a testament to his hard work. Dino 人生中的成功是他努力的证明。又或者说 These poems are a testament to how much the poet loved the English language. 这些诗证明了那位诗人对英语的热爱。最后是 endure 这个单字，它是动词，指的是持久、持续、忍耐、忍受。在课文中 enduring 为现在分词做形容词用，表示持久的。 例如 Letitia's enduring passion for ballet is admirable. Letitia 对芭蕾舞的持久热情令人钦佩。最后一个例子 Steve endured years of poverty before finally becoming successful. Steve 在终于功成名就前忍受了数年的贫穷生活。
Okay, here's the final part of our lesson for today. It says, whatever the reasons for it, the vinyl revival is more than just a return to the past. So we don't really know exactly why vinyl records have experienced this renaissance or this revival, but we're concluding that it's still more than just a return to the past. It isn't just nostalgia by older people who want to listen to albums again, because as we pointed out earlier, it's mostly something that younger people are interested in, not those old people from previous generations.
Absolutely. It's a testament to the enduring power of music and the desire for more meaningful connections with it. So yes, it's vinyl today, but it might be, in the future, kids throw away their electric keyboards or their music programs on the computer and they start to play old guitars again or pick up violins again or something like that. So, it's kind of showing that music is powerful and in being connected to your music in a more real way than maybe just clicking something with a mouse is kind of just a natural human thing, right? We've had all sorts of ways using technology to make music for decades now, but people still like to play a ukulele or still like to pick up a wooden guitar and just play along. So a testament to, when we say a testament, it's sort of like a tribute. It's sort of like a declaration. It's sort of like proof. All right. So we're saying that this proves something to be true. This proves this fact. It's a testament to this fact. All right. So even though the star had a bit of a controversy last year, their fans still like them. It's a testament to that star's enduring popularity. It's sort of proof of a fact or evidence of a fact, and also a tribute in some kind of way. So it's proof and a tribute to the enduring power of music. Enduring meaning it never ends, it will last forever, it will always be there. Even with the most convenient ways of getting music, people sometimes still choose less convenient ways because it just makes the experience of enjoying the music more enjoyable.
Yep, you can have that meaningful connection with the music by seeing the record spin in front of your very eyes. And as long as people continue to appreciate the tactile, visual, and aural experiences provided by vinyl, new generations will continue to be attracted to this cherished medium. So in this sentence, we've got different ways that you can experience sound from those records. You get the tactile experience. You get to feel the record. You get to place it gently on the turntable. You've got the visual aspect of it. You can see the actual record. You can see the grooves. They kind of shine in the light when you kind of turn it a certain way. And you can look at the album cover and read the lyrics and things like that. And you also get the aural experience, which means having to do with hearing. Of course, that's the main reason why you buy a record album, is to listen to the thing. You want to hear the music, and you can have all these other experiences as well.
Absolutely. And for those reasons, and probably many more, new generations will continue to be attracted to this cherished medium. Even though there's no real reason for kids to be buying vinyl records today, they are, and they probably will be, says the writer, into the future, because vinyl is just special. People love it. It's appreciated. It's adored. It's honored. It's cherished. So if there's something you really love and really value and you're quite proud to say how important, how valuable, how much pleasure it gives you, that thing is very cherished, like a beloved family member or something like that.
Okay, we're at the end of our discussion for today. Let's listen now to Hanny.
各位同学大家好，我是 Hanny。 我们来看今天的文法重点。课文一开始写到，黑胶唱片复兴背后的主要因素之一是碰触实体唱片的触觉体验。好，文中用到补充单字 tactile 来描述触觉的。 那我们来学习它的字根，看到 tact 或者是 tang 或者是 tag 这一类字根，它有 touch 或者是 handle 的意思，表示触摸啊、接触或是有操作、管理的意思。那么在 tactile 这个字当中，它的字根 tact 表示触碰， ile 是形容词字尾，那合在一起 tactile 就是形容触觉的。我们也补充几个有这一类字根的单字。第一个是 intact， 它的字首 in 表示否定，那么 tact 是触碰，那没有被触碰过，可以联想到它是完好无缺的、未受损的，所以 intact 就可以用来形容完整无缺的、完好如初的、未受损伤的。第二个补充的是 tangible， 它的字根 tang 表示触摸，ible 是表达可什么什么的，所以可触摸的、可以摸得到的，那应该很容易联想到 tangible 就表示可触摸的、有形的或者是真实的。第三个补充的是 contagious， 它的字首 con 表示一起，那字根 tag 表示接触， ous 是形容词字尾。那相信我们过去几年呢，大家对于这种保持社交距离再也熟悉不过了。我们如果是一起接触，就会很容易把这个疾病散播出去嘛，所以 contagious 就可以用来形容这个疾病是具接触传染性的，也可以形容是具有感染力的。好，那么课文第二部分最后一句写到说，即使是黑胶唱片的小缺陷……也被认为迷人而不恼人。好，文中它是用 charming rather than annoying 来表达迷人而不恼人。这边我们就来复习一下 rather than 的用法。rather than 是表达说是怎么样而不是怎么样，它可以当介系词，这时候意思相当于 instead of， 后面要接名词或动名词。例如 rather than taking the elevator, he chose to climb the stairs. 他没有搭电梯，而是选择爬楼梯。好，那么 rather than 也可以当连接词，这时候它就必须连接词性相同的字词了。如果我们要拿来连接不定词 to v 的话，注意 rather than 后面的 to v 的 to 通常会省略。举例来说 They decided to walk home rather than take a taxi. 他们决定走路回家，而不是搭计程车。那句子里面我们用 rather than take a taxi， 而不是 rather than to take a taxi， to 被省略咯。顺便补充一下Would rather A than B 的用法 Would rather 它表示宁愿宁可或者是比较想要怎么样，那么 would 常常会跟主格人称代名词缩写成撇 d， 所以我们会用 I'd rather We'd rather 等等去表达。那我们用 Would rather A than B 就可以表达宁可要 A 而不要 B， 这个 A、B 要用原形动词。举例来说 She'd rather read a book than watch TV，他宁可看书而不要看电视。好，那以上今天重点整理，我们回顾今天单字吧。
Delicately. With great care and patience, the artist delicately added the final details to the statue. Canvas. The empty lot served as a blank canvas for the architect's grand vision. Singular. His ability to express emotions through music is a singular talent that sets him apart from other musicians.Reproduce. We need to reproduce the conditions of the experiment as closely as possible to achieve consistent results. Accuracy. We should check the data for accuracy before we analyze it. Occasional. Cora enjoys taking occasional walks in the park to relax. Endure. In spite of some damage, the old bridge has managed to endure for over a century. Cherish.Desiree cherishes the necklace that her grandmother gave her.
Discussion starter starts now.
Here's our discussion starter for today. The question is, would you consider buying music on vinyl? Why or why not?Yes,
I'd consider buying music on vinyl, seeing as I have a vinyl collection, and I buy music on vinyl almost every week, but don't tell my wife.
Oh no, yes indeed. It could be quite expensive to buy music in that format. But no, as I said before, I listened to records before when I was younger. I've been there, I've done that, and I don't really need to go back. I don't feel any nostalgia for records, and I don't think they sound any better than digital files. But what I would like to have, though, is the ability to take my digital recordings and to dub them over to reel-to-reel tape or a cassette tape so that I can actually watch the tape spinning in the machine. That might actually be a wonderful experience because it's kind of cool to see motion when music is coming out of the speakers.
Maybe this time next year we'll be talking about the reel-to-reel tape revival.
If anybody knows what those things are.
Well, that brings us to the end of another edition of our program, and please make sure you join us again next time. From all of us here, I am Mike.
I am Roger. See you next time.